Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we'll start with a roll call again. Make sure everybody's available, please.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Spearman. Councillor Kaufman.
Present.
Councillor Hagan. Councillor Morrow.
Yep.
Councillor Miyashiro. Councillor Parker.
Here.
Acting Mayor Croson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
I am back.
Mayor Spearman.
Present?
Councillor Carlson.
Present.
And Councillor Hagan. And Councillor Miyashiro. We're just missing two right now, Mayor Spearman.
Rob is here and I see his microphone going on and off, so he's here, we just can't hear him, I think.
Okay, so just checking with councillors on the order of business for this afternoon.
So we would be on page 4.
Okay. So is this the motion? Okay.
Do you have the motion ready to go, Ryan?
Check. I can hear you now, Rob.
Okay. So we're just missing. Councillor Hagan.
I've texted Blaine, but I haven't heard back from him.
Okay.
Back again, sorry.
Oh.
Okay, he's here. Good. Okay, so we now have a motion to consider, which is whereas there is an objective to approve a 4-year capital plan, 2022 to 2025, within the 10-year planning context, in order that the corresponding operating costs from the approved projects can be included in the 2023 to 2026 operating budget. Therefore, be it resolved that the Economic Standing Committee recommend that Council, at their meeting of May 18th, 2021, approve the 2022 to 2031 Capital Improvement Plan, including the following funded projects. Section C and CO, Transportation and Offsite Projects. C5, Intersection Improvements, Non-Growth. C6, Bikeways/pathways/sidewalks along roadways. C7, Accessibility Improvements. C8, Annual Overlay Program. C9, Bridge Rehabilitation Program. C10, Railway Rehabilitation Program. C11, Traffic Signals Replacement. C12, Community Lighting Rehabilitation. C13, Major Sidewalk Rehabilitation Program. C14, Paved Lane Rehabilitation Program. C15, Whip-Up Drive/Scenic Drive Interchange Detailed Design and Construction. C16, 10th Avenue South and 9th Avenue South Functional Planning and Design. C17, 18th Street Functional Planning and Design Study. C18, Stafford Drive North Functional Planning and Design Study. C19, In-Service Safety Review of Intersections. C20, Variable Message Board Installations for Whoop-Up Drive TMS. C21, Chinook Trail River Crossing Preliminary Design. C01, North Scenic Drive and 26th Avenue North intersection. CO2, North Scenic Drive to Uplands Boulevard to 44th Avenue, Stage 1. Walsh Drive, University Drive to Métis Trail. University Drive, Walsh Drive to Highway 3 Design. University Drive, Walsh Drive to Commercial Access. C6 Métis Trail, Colebrook Gate to Great Bear Boulevard. C07, 26th Avenue North, 23rd Street North to Scenic Drive, Stage 2. And C08, 28th Street North, Kodiak Gate to Black Wolf Entrance, Stage 1. And then Section E, Environmental Utilities, Waste and Recycling Projects. E7, Waste and Recycling Curbside Organics Collection. E8, Waste and Recycling Center Disposal Cell Development Enclosure. E9, Waste and Recycling Center Landfill Gas and Leachate Management. E10, Waste and Recycling Center Site Enhancements. E11, Sustainability Enhancements. Section E and EO, Environmental Utilities, Water Utility, Wastewater Utility, and Combined Deep Utility Projects. E12, Water Treatment Plant Process Redundancy. E13, Water Treatment Plant Medium Voltage Upgrades. E14, Water Treatment Plant UV Disinfection Upgrades. E15, Uplands and Gary Drive Reservoir Fill Line Twinning. E16, Water Treatment Plant River Intake Conceptual Design. E17, Uplands Reservoir Upgrades. E18, Mermagrath Reservoir Upgrades. E19, Wastewater Treatment Plant Biosolids Treatment Upgrades. E20, Wastewater Treatment Plant Effluent Water System Upgrade. E21, Wastewater Treatment Plant Electrical Upgrades. E22, Wastewater Treatment Plant Bioreactor Aeration Blowers Upgrade. E23, Wastewater Treatment Plant UV Disinfection Upgrades. E24, Wastewater Treatment Plant Phosphorus Recovery. E25, Wastewater Treatment Plant Lagoon Upgrades. E01, West Siphon Screen Location. E02, 28th Street North, Griffin Road to Black Wolf Entrance Water Loop. E03, Southeast Sanitary Servicing 26th Avenue, 23rd Street to Stafford Trunk. E04, Sanitary Main, Parkside Drive and 43rd Street to 24th Avenue and 51st Street / 24th Avenue to 33rd Avenue. E05, Gravity Main, 28th Street North, 2nd Avenue to 15A Avenue, Sanitary Sewer. E06, Southeast Lift Station Phase 1. E07, North 13th Street Storm Outfall. E08, McLeod Drive West Storm Outfall. And Section F, Electric Utility Projects. F4, Protection and Control. F5, Substation Transformer Upgrades. F6, Substation Infrastructure, Yard/Building Upgrades. F7, Substation Breakers and Switches Upgrade. F8, Distribution, Extension and Improvement Annual Program. F9, Distribution Mainline / Single Phase Renewal Annual Program. F10, Dark Fiber Systems. F11, Support Plant Renewal Annual Program. F12, Electric System Coordination Center. And Section D, Community Previously Approved Funded Projects. Lethbridge and District Exhibition Agri-Food Hub, Trade Center. Lethbridge Airport Renovation. West Lethbridge Operations Depot, Phase 3A, and Art Acquisition Program as per Council policy. Councillor Carlson.
Thank you, Mayor Spearman. As council probably knows, but for anyone watching, the majority of the projects that are listed here, the section, oh, now I've lost my, section C, section E, section F, are are funded projects. The majority of them are funded through offsite levies, basic municipal transportation grant, pay-as-you-go transportation, or through utility rates. The one outlier in this would be our Section D, community previously approved funded projects. These are projects that were funded previously, and we need to include the finalize approval and include them in the CIP. So unless there's any questions from my colleagues.
Looking for questions from council. Councillor Kaufman.
Thank you, Mayor Spearman. Just a couple of questions on a few projects here. I gotta scroll back. No, let me start on the page I'm on, because otherwise I'm gonna be jumping back and forth. Let's jump right in if we can to E7, waste and recycling curbside organics collection. This is a significant increase in level of service, and this is asking to go to a green waste curbside recycling, correct?
Yeah, I can jump in. That's correct, Councillor Kaufman. This is this project's been refined. The budget's a little different than what was presented to about a year and a half ago in response to council's in direction to advance the residential waste diversion strategy. So that's what's in front of you today, is the capital costs and the operating costs, the rate impacts associated with going to a curbside organics program. That's a brand new program, a green card, if you will, to enhance the residential program that we have already for waste and recycling.
Okay, and unfortunately my Teams is cutting in and out, which is why I've got my camera off. I think I got 90% of what you said. I'd like to request that E7 be pulled from this omnibus motion and be deliberated separately.
Okay, so I think that's a motion to divide for E7.
Yeah, if we could divide each individual one, that would be great.
Well, each one or just E7?
Well, actually, my motion is to, because if it's motion to divide, then it just comes down to acceptance and approval. I'd like council to consider it on its own outside of the omnibus motion.
Right, so it's a motion to divide. Do I need a seconder? Is there a seconder for that?
I'll second that. It's Joe.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Morrow. So we'll deal with the motion to divide right away. E7 from the main resolution. Is there any questions? Councillor Parker?
I just thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to double check. Mr. Lowen, do I have any conflict on this? I don't believe I do in regards to any of these projects. Do I? And I don't believe so, but I just want to double check just to make sure.
I'm not aware of any, but if there was one in particular that we wanted to discuss in more detail, we could go offline and do that.
I will do that. Thank you.
Okay, any questions relating to the motion to divide?
Mayor Spearman, just
okay,
sorry, Mayor Spearman, Councillor Kaufman, just one sort of ancillary to that. I just want to confirm with Mr. Hawkins that E8, E9, E10, when they're looking at waste and recycling center landfill updates, there's nothing in here that ties in specifically with the organics collection.
That's correct. The E7 is specific to the investment required should council wish to provide an organics residential collection.
I'll assume you're done. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So any debate, or do we have debate on motion to divide? Okay, any debate? I see none, so we'll move forward with the motion. I'll ask for a recorded vote.
Councillor Hagan.
In favor.
Councillor Morrow.
Favor.
Councillor Miyashiro.
Opposed.
Councillor Parker.
Just a sec here.
Mayor Spearman, while we're waiting, could I ask a quick question?
In the middle of the vote.
Never mind. I'll wait because you're right.
We'll come back to Councillor Parker. Can you keep going?
Acting Mayor Crowson.
In favor.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor.
Mayor Spearman.
In favor?
Councillor Carlson.
In favor.
Councillor Kaufman.
In favor?
And Councillor Parker.
Still getting advice.
Sorry,
This is
Councillor
simply
Parker.
to divide, isn't it? He's not voting on the issue.
No, but I just got a text from Councillor Parker. I'm not sure if he's back yet. He could not. He's trying to get some more information, so he's left the meeting. He wanted that on the record, unless he's returned.
So he's left the meeting. The motion is already decided based on the votes we've received so far. So I would say that we will divide E7 from the main motion. Yep, 7-1. Okay. So I think we can deal with the main motion except for E7. Councillor Kaufman?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Spearman. C14, if I can just have some confirmation about C14. I'm scrolling frantically to it myself.
Paved
lane rehabilitation. Mr. Hawkins, we, according to the information sheet you've provided, we only do 1 to 2 lanes annually at a cost of $656,000, $456 from capital and $200,000 from operating budget. Am I reading that correctly?
I believe that's correct. Darwin, I have Darwin Jewell on the line. Maybe I'd ask Mr. Jewell to respond to that question, Councillor Kaufman.
Yes, Darwin here. That is correct. It all depends on the length of the lane, but it's the average length of a lane. We can do average 2, sometimes 3 lanes per year with that funding. We've got a current lane program right now where we're doing a little bit more than that because we had 2 years worth of accumulated money, but we're trying to get caught up on our lane reconstruction. So that is an accurate statement.
Thank you. So we're doing about 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers of lane a year at this cost?
No, I believe it is 2 to 3 projects. Usually they're about 100 to 150 meters length.
Okay. Okay, thank you. C6 is the last one I've got a question on, Mayor Spearman.
Okay, go ahead.
Or the last one that I'll ask a question on. To Mr. Hawkins, I've noticed several email exchanges, people in the 43rd Street Fairmont Gate, is that the right location, area, talking about sidewalk along 43rd between Southgate and the subdivision, or between the subdivision and the school. But I don't see that sidewalk on this CIP. Is that being funded separately?
It is. I can again defer to Mr. Jewell for specific funding, but that'll happen in the current year. So, and again, this this contemplates projects commencing in 2022. Mr. Jewell?
Yes, that's correct. We're using transportation surplus.
Sorry. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, you are constructing that this year, correct? Whereas
Yes.
this is 2022 moving forward. So yeah, my mistake on that. Okay, I'm getting my dates mixed up. Thank you, Mayor Spearman.
Okay, Councillor Higgin.
Actually, mine is more of a question or debate after this is divided, so I will wait in line for after this decision.
Well, we've approved the motion to divide, so we're just discussing the main motion at this point. Okay.
Okay, then I don't know, I'm sure I'm going to be crucified for this, but I'm really struggling with this process. And I'm going to tell you why. We've got 30 or 40 different things that, you know what, I don't know if all of us, I know I am very uncomfortable with the fact that this omnibus resolution, because there's multiple throughout here that I think conversation is needed on each and every one. And yes, I know that's going to take a heck of a long time, but that's, I believe, what our job is, to make sure that we go through each and every one of these. So as an omnibus resolution, I'm extremely uncomfortable with this. And I think we all received our binders on Friday, and on Monday, we're now voting on this omnibus resolution. And I know that we've had discussions prior to this, but I am just extremely uncomfortable with this. And maybe it's just myself that feels this sense of being very uncomfortable, but I just want to put it out there. And if it's a question is, why are we doing this? And if it's a debate, I don't think we should do it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
just my thought.
So I think what you're asking to do is divide and discuss each and every project.
I would appreciate that, yes.
Okay. So is there a seconder for that? Going once?
Yes, Joe.
Okay. So moved by Councillor Higgin, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that we divide and debate each and every motion, each and every project as listed. Okay, so going forward from here, is there any questions on the motion to divide? Any debate? I hear none. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councillor Morrow.
Favor?
Councillor Miyashiro.
Opposed?
Councillor Parker.
Favor.
Acting Mayor Croson.
In favor.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Opposed?
Mayor Spearman.
Opposed?
Councillor Carlson. Councillor Carlson, I didn't catch your vote.
He said his internet just went down.
His internet crashed. Councillor Miyashiro.
That's what, yeah, Carlson just said his internet went down. So if we just want to wait a minute.
I'll come back. Councillor Kaufman. Councillor Higgin.
In favor. Just so you know, City Clerk, it seems that south side here, internet has been intermittent, and I'm sure that it sounds like Councillor Carlson is in the same situation, because mine freezes up as well. So just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Clerk, Nick here in communications. So we also received an email that there's been Teams issues corporate wide also, so that may be contributing.
Thank you. I'm just going to finish the vote. Councillor Carlson?
Sorry, I had some questions on motion to divide, but if we've already passed that, I am opposed hugely.
Councillor Kaufman? Councillor Kaufman? Four, lost vote.
We'll try and get Councillor Kaufman's vote.
Yes, Mayor Spearman, if I could just comment there, I think it's important that we wait for Councillor Kaufman to come back as he is part of this discussion, and rather than just pass it, we did have to wait for Councillor Carlson to come back, so I think it's important that we wait for our colleague.
Yep, we are doing that. I am trying to get Councillor Kaufman's vote.
You would have to email me, Mayor Spearman.
Sent a direct message to Councillor Kaufman.
Your Worship, he's rebooting Teams. He said his Teams crashed.
Awesome.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to let you know that I have confirmed I have no conflict on any of these things. Thank you, Mr. Hawkins, and thank you, Mr. Lowen, just for it to be known. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you. Do we need to note that in the minutes? Okay.
I just got a message from Jeffrey who said he's back.
Okay. Councillor Kaufman, are you online?
Yes, Mayor Spearman. I've switched technology again and see if Teams works this way.
Okay. So we are voting, and you're the last one to vote on the motion to divide proposed by Councillor Higgin, that we debate each and every project.
Opposed.
That loses 4 to 5.
Okay, so we're back to the omnibus motion.
Thank you. Motion to table. And I don't know if it's tabling or if it's postponing, because I'm going to suggest we just move it to another day to meet the intent of Councillor Higgins, the spirit of Councillor Higgins' request. This way it gives additional time for those members of council that may have more questions and to pull out if they wish to pull out specific projects. Okay. So I'd like to propose a motion to postpone.
Is it motion to table or a motion to postpone?
It's a
It's the,
motion,
yeah, let the clerk decide.
it's a motion to table if it's within the meeting, which I think
Okay,
it
so the
is.
meeting lasts all week, so it's a motion to table
Yeah, Councillor
until
Kaufman, when did you want to move it to?
tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow we should be relatively ready, so even tomorrow would be fine.
Okay, so motion to table this motion until 9:30 on Tuesday, May the 11th.
Worship, we already
I'll-
tabled 5.1, the engagement, to 9:30 tomorrow.
Engagement 5.1 is at 9:30, so tomorrow morning following engagement. Okay,
I'll second that.
seconded by Acting Mayor Croson. Okay, any debate? Okay, we'll go through a roll call on the tabling motion, please.
Councillor Miyashiro.
Approve.
Councillor Parker.
In favor.
Acting Mayor Croson.
In favor.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor.
Mayor Spearman.
In favor?
Councillor Carlson.
Favor?
Councillor Kaufman.
In favor?
Councillor Hagan.
In favor.
And Councillor Morrow.
Opposed.
8-1 carries.
Okay, so now we would move on to section D, except that we haven't had a chance to review the information from the public. Do we?
Worship, section D would be amendments to the main motion, so that really can't go ahead, I don't think.
Yep. So at this time, we might want to recess until 9:30 tomorrow morning. I do have Acting Mayor Croson in the queue. Before we consider a motion to recess until tomorrow, Acting Mayor Croson, did you have a question or a motion to bring forward?
I had another dividing motion to take a few of the motions out, just a few of them, but I can do that after after it comes off the table tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we need a motion to recess? Okay, I would now entertain a motion to recess until 9:30 tomorrow morning. Would anyone be prepared to make that motion?
Mayor Spearman, I can make the motion, but before we do, perhaps, just because we've found ourselves with some time, perhaps if there's any, just to give administration some opportunity to respond. If there are any of I know Councillor Croson had some she was going to remove, so that she may have questions on. There may be others of us. If we could maybe just say which ones that we would like administration to be a bit more prepared to discuss, if that makes sense to anyone else. I think we know E7 is going to be one we're going to dive into. We've already made that one clear. But if there are others that we can have administration ready for, it may save us time in the morning. That's just...
I can just speak for myself if administration wants. The ones I'm looking at dividing are any ones with operating costs, just so that we have a clear discussion around anything we might be putting onto future taxes.
Councillor Hagan?
My hand isn't up.
Okay, Councillor Miyashiro?
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. In response to Councillor Carlson, I think after this comes off the table, again, if people are going to take the time to review these, we're probably not going to be able to deliberate them even after it comes off the table. It might have to come off the table in order for people to identify which ones need more information or which ones they want to split off, and then it might have to go back on the table anyway, right?
Agreed.
So,
I just thought...
so telling them now, it might help them for just those few, but I mean, we're going to have to probably do this Wednesday or Thursday anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, it was my understanding that we had looked at all that already, so it was just a way to try and speed things up. But
no, understandable. But isn't that correct? Madam Clerk, is that correct? If we pull this off the table and give and separate a bunch of other of these initiatives out of the resolution, would we not have to give administration a bit of time to kind of gather that information or not?
I would defer this to administration. It would be up to them if they're ready to answer questions on them individually.
We should be able to answer questions on them now. So I think going ahead with what's been proposed is fine.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Hawkins, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, no, I was just going to concur with the city manager. My staff will be all on tap whenever you deal with this, and we should be able to answer the questions on the fly.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Morrow?
Thank you. So for what it's worth, I thought that we were changing this whole process so that we could make it more efficient. Seems to me that we're not. So if I can just make my little 2-bit suggestion.
Go ahead.
Is there an urgency to this, and do we need to do this week? Because what I'm thinking is, my opinion, there is no urgency. If we're going to continue on this road, we're going to keep pulling different projects out and dealing with them one off, just as Councillor Crowson has identified some, and I'm sure we all have some. So why don't we just, in my opinion, we should postpone this entire week. Members of council can have 1 week to look at the budget, really dig in, talk to people, talk to ourselves, talk to our colleagues, which I think we have the right to do that, and yet we haven't done that yet. And therefore, from that, then we can deal with administration, give administration enough time to address all of our questions, concerns, and then we come back with a proper process to deal with the budget. Because what we're doing now, I'm sorry, is Mickey Mouse, and I'm not blaming the city clerk's department at all, because I think they would probably do this better than what we are trying to do here today and this week. So that's my 2 bits worth. I'm tempted to. I tried before where I would suggest that we postpone this entire CIP, but I'm not going to because I know it's not going to pass. But I'm throwing in my 2 bits worth just because. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Higgin.
Thank you, Mayor Spearman. Apologies to my colleagues, but I'm looking at this and we've got it postponed or we're going to be dealing with this tomorrow by the looks of it. I don't know about anybody else, but these are pretty deep thing, all of them. And again, getting it on Friday, 1 extra day, honestly, to me is not going to make enough. I'd be the same way. I'd be willing to put through a motion, but I know where it would probably fall. So I just want to express this. There's no way that I know personally, I'll speak for myself, will ever get through all of these 40 or 35 or whatever number there are in here by tomorrow morning and get the questions in that we need to do. So I just thought I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, Councillor Carlson.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Spearman. I'm struggling a bit. Council has had these not for a day. These have been in front of council for weeks, sometimes months, these projects. We had presentation at economic SPC on each and every one of these, and then all the information was provided to us. So I just don't want it out there that this is being thrown at us today. I've taken the time over the last several months to go through all these projects, and I was expecting the same. So I'm struggling a little here why we're saying this just appeared.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there were presentations, and I was thrilled to see the lousy weather this weekend, so I could spend all weekend reading these projects. So that's what I did. I'm ready to discuss if necessary, but I welcome the omnibus motion for the ones that are funded within their own areas. So I'm ready to go tomorrow. But Councillor Miyashiro?
Right. So I have to agree with Councillor Carlson that We have this afternoon, if we're gonna recess this afternoon, we have all this afternoon and this evening to review the ones that we're not sure about. Because they're right, and other councillors who said, we have been talking about this for months now through our standing policy committees and through other means. So let's just get it done tomorrow.
Okay, so we have a tabling motion on the floor to table until after the item after 5.1 at 9:30. It passed already?
Yeah,
So-
I was making the motion to recess for the day.
Okay.
Your Worship.
Okay, motion to recess from Councillor Carlson. All in favor? We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30. Thank you.